Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Twist Gaming. We are here live, bringing you live convention coverage from Origins 2018 in wonderful Columbus, Ohio. And we are here with one of our very good friends, Miss Sarah Erickson from Renegade Game Studios. And Sarah, you guys are always busy, always putting out really great new fun games, and this year is no exception. This convention is no exception.
We
So
have a lot going on.
I saw the alpaca at the booth. That was cute.
Alfonso, yes,
Oh,
he's a friend.
he's the name. That's adorable.
Yeah, come take your picture with him.
I'm gonna have to.
He's going on tour, so he'll be at some conventions with us this year. It's very exciting. He's a busy guy.
Very, very popular.
Yeah, more pictures of him than just about anything here.
Because he's adorable. He is adorable. But one of the games that you brought us today was Spy Club, which I got the chance to hear a little bit about last year and has really come a long way.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and it's actually just about out. July 11th is the release date, so we're
Right
getting
around the
really
corner.
close. Yeah, this is a really different game than what I expected when I first saw it, which is really cool. It's a campaign style game, but it's non-destructive, so you can play through it a ton of times, and there's actually 40 different campaign modules in here, so you can see these big decks that really drastically change the way the game plays and how the rules are. But basically in the first game, you are simply trying to discover the motive, suspect, location, crime, and object for this mystery that you're trying to solve. And unlike other mystery detective games, there's no real deduction in this. You are going to find out things, you're going to unlock things, uncover stuff, but you're not doing a deduction puzzle. You're really doing a color matching cooperative puzzle.
Okay.
And like I said, this is cooperative, so you and your friends are going to have some of these clues in front of you. So I'll just show you some of these.
Sure.
And you're trying to get the right colors of these clues up to this area of the board. Once you have all 5 of those, and then you've solved the motive. You know one little piece of that puzzle.
Okay, let me see that eavesdropping card, the crime card, and we'll just get it in there a little closer.
I love the artwork in this game. It is just absolutely
The
gorgeous.
sock monkey is adorable.
And the art in them allows you, if you wanted to sort of tell your own story of how this mystery unravels itself, because there's a lot of different stuff in each one of these cards. So when you discover that the crime was actually eavesdropping, you can talk a little bit about, well, it was the monkey. There was a bug in his ear, so the monkey was spying on you, or however you want to tell that story.
I like that.
But the game is really more of a resource management cooperative game where you're trying to carefully use the resources you have to trade these cards with each other, to flip them over so they're all double-sided. A lot of them have different colors on the backs. So now that I've flipped that over, I'd be able to, as an action, move it up here. But it's difficult to get the right cards that you need to trade them with the other players so they're in the right place at the right time. Once you've solved this crime, that's game 1. You play up to 5 games in any campaign, and once you played through that first one, then you know some of the parts of the puzzle, and you unlock these new campaign modules, and they're going to totally change the game.
Really?
So this one, we're just color matching. Nothing too crazy, but you learn how the mechanics work.
Okay.
And the next one, maybe we're playing mini golf. And I say that not as a thematic thing. We might be playing mini golf as a mechanic.
What? Really? Okay.
There's all sorts of just wacky, crazy stuff. Like, I have only played through one full campaign, which is 5 games, and I haven't played through a lot of the other modules in there, and so I don't even know what most of these things do.
Okay, so these are little components that assist you with the campaign cards that are sealed until after you make it through the first game, essentially, to get through it. So I have to ask, what were the lollipop? This is like one of those "what did I just punch" posts. So I have to know what the lollipops were.
So actually, those are from the very beginning. Every player starts with a little spyglass.
Very cute.
And the spyglass, I'll give you one of those.
Sure.
That shows where your focus is on your own clue board. And so when your focus is on, let's say, your first card in your series, maybe this blue one over here, it gives you an advantage for trading with the other players, so it makes it a little easier to cooperate. And then also helps you be able to do things like flipping over cards. So those are always in the game, but they are really cute.
They're really cute.
But all those other tokens, I literally have no idea what most of those do.
That's kind of exciting.
It's super exciting. Like, there's components in this box that you don't even know that they're components. until you get to
Until you get
that.
told, like, use this thing. That's
Yeah,
neat.
it's really wild.
I
And
mean, the theme of the game is it's so we're a bunch of kids in a neighborhood that have we're detectives. We have our own, kind of spy detective agency. So I
mhm.
think that the theme right off the bat, you know that this is going to be a fun kind of light, maybe not light strategy-wise, but light-hearted maybe theme is a better way to describe it.
Absolutely. Yeah, and what I love about this too is that not only can you replay it a ton of times, but you can also play it with a lot of different types of people. So I've played this with kids, like 7 to 12-year-olds, 7 and 12-year-olds, which is
Very cute.
actually quite a large age
Yeah.
difference, but both of them really, really enjoyed this because the older one is seeing all the story components and how unlocking these different mechanics changes all this stuff. And the 7-year-old is just flipping over cards and trading stuff with her friends and having a blast with it.
So everybody's getting a little something different out of the game itself.
Yeah, and they're both really understanding how it works and how exciting that is. So you can play it with almost anybody. And it also comes with a ton of these different characters that you can put your own name on. So you can really
Oh,
feel
that's
connected to the
cute.
game. Just a ton of them. And it even comes with some extra stickers. So if you name your character, but you want to play another whole campaign, you can rename that character for the next campaign and play again.
I grabbed one of the children as the green shirt, and I was like, oh, it's not going to work so well.
Oh, I didn't think about that. It's exactly the green screen color.
So this is where you can kind of write your name in, especially for the campaign style. That's really neat.
Yeah, they're really super cute. So I'm excited to play even more of this because the first 5 games were excellent. It really is fun to go through that whole thing, but then getting to do it all over again is super neat and
And it's
totally
different every
non-destructive.
time.
Oh yeah, so there's 40 different campaign modules. You play 5 in one campaign. And so once you get through that campaign, then you can reset and start over. And even if you have some of the same modules pop up again, which is
Right.
unlikely, but you could, based on what the previous game's changes were, they're going to work a little differently.
Ah,
So I can't see any of them being the same feeling.
exactly, each time. So
Yeah.
many really great combinations.
You would really have to spend a long time playing this
To
to
find
ever
your same
find
run
that.
again.
And it's only a $45 game, and most of these big, heavy legacy games that I absolutely love are actually quite expensive, but the
Right.
amount of time you're going to spend playing this, $45 is nothing.
No. Now, it's a co-op game. What is the player range?
So it's 2 to 4 players. It's about 45 minutes per game. If once you get into it and you really know what you're doing, some of the campaign modules will maybe a little slower or a little faster depending on your group, and it's ages 10 up.
Perfect. So that's a nice time, I feel like. So if you get your group together, you can do game nights once a week or something like that. You pull out the game one week, put it away, back to the next game the next week, and you're continuing a really great story. You've got something to look forward to next week.
Absolutely, and you know it's only going to take you about 45 minutes, so you could even play through a couple if you wanted to, and it's just 5 games.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So how can our audience get their hands on Spy Club?
They can actually pre-order this now if they go to spyclub.com/buy.
Okay.
Then they can pre-order it. It comes out July 11th in all friendly local game stores. And yeah, it'll be everywhere. And we'll be at Gen Con with it too.
Awesome. Perfect. I saw other goodies.
I have so many goodies. My bag is full.
I saw other goodies.
Oh man. Well, we'll throw this back in the box
Okay.
quickly and pull out some other things. So, have you guys been able to run around the convention at all? See any fun stuff?
We got a little bit of time in between the breaks to go and see some interesting stuff, see what was out there. That's when I got the chance to see the alpaca.
He is quite adorable.
Very.
Nice, nice. Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff going on. At this convention, we're showing off 2 RPGs, which is a little bit different for us. That's been fun. It's actually free RPG day today. I don't know if you
I didn't know
knew
that.
that. Yeah, it's a big
Oh.
thing at local game
Yeah.
stores. They get to give away lots of
Cool free
little
stuff.
free stuff, sort of like free comic book day, a lot like International Tabletop Day, but for RPGs.
I didn't realize that was today. Me and my family, we love going to our friendly local game stores and picking up the packs for all the cool goodies that are in there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's pretty exciting. So we had both Overlay and Kids on Bikes as games in there. Kids on Bikes, I think, is really cute with Spy Club. They're both sort of like kids running around the neighborhood doing their own thing, which I think is really fun.
That's the best when you're at the age and you've got the really great fun imagination. So to be able to capture that feeling again in a board game is really nice.
Definitely.
So this is bright and fun and cheery.
Circus puppy.
Oh,
It even has ears.
that's adorable.
Everything needs ears, right?
Absolutely. Everything that's fluffy needs little fluffy ears.
Oh my gosh. And this game is so silly and cute. It's very simple. We're just going to put some of these puppies out here. You're a trainer, and
Okay.
you have all your little pups out there doing tricks, and it's a dexterity game. You have to get them lined up and on those little platforms as efficiently as possible. And your turn is very simple. You're going to have a deck of dog cards, and you're just going to draw one of them, and then you do the action on your card based on what it says.
Okay.
So we've got a big pile of these cards here. We'll just set off to the side.
Show off those cute little puppy right there. His yellow hat. Look how cute.
All right. Put some of those out there. We can see that shot a little bit.
Bam.
Awesome.
You did really well.
Yay! Success. So I'll just let you go first so you can play that kind of dog. Those are Shiba Inus there. I've got corgis on my side.
Okay. So I'm just reading the inside. And what is this icon here?
So this is a platform. So you'll see we have a couple of these dogs already set up here on the high platform and the low platform. And you're going to draw one of these cards, flip it over, and then do what it says.
Okay. All right, Sarah, I'm trusting you.
I hope it goes well.
All right. So we have a 3-point platform. Everyone passes their deck of dog cards to the right.
All right, so we're actually just going to switch dog card
Have some
decks.
Shiba Inus.
Yep.
Do you get this one back as well? Where's he go?
Not quite. So you're going to still have to do something else with that one. So you'll take that platform and you'll add it to one of these two platforms.
Oh, here's the dex part. Oh, man.
You leave it on the other side.
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
So here's the top bit.
And then you have to put your dog on top of that.
You know, I'm not so great at dex games, but I think that I can pull this off.
That's all good. Hey! It just has to stay for 5 seconds.
Oh,
so
well,
even
that
if you
makes
knock it off later,
I'm
fine.
good.
And you're going to get 3 points for it because that's what the number was on that card.
Okay.
Plus 1 card for every dog on top of it.
Okay.
And so right now you've got 1. And then that's the end of your turn. I would draw a card for my own one. This is great. So this is, I'll give that to you. This is the helper dog card.
Look how cute the little... With his mustache, it's so much.
Oh my gosh, the circus part of this is great.
So fantastic.
So we're gonna. I have to draw another card now.
Okay.
And this just says that I'm stacking 2 pups from here up on top of each other. Okay. So, but this card says that I have to have you help me.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay.
And the way that you help me is we're gonna have this. You and I are both going to use this card to like tweezer to pick up this one and put it on there.
Oh, this is gonna be something. Okay.
This way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Tweezers.
Okay,
we're gonna go on this one.
Sure.
All right.
And let go. That was
we did it.
Okay. Now we do another.
We need another one.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Do this. Get ready. Okay.
Okay. We're gonna.
Which way?
I don't know.
My arm doesn't go that way. Okay, we're going this way.
We'll go this way.
Okay, let go.
Don't fall, puppy.
5 seconds. Oh. Yay! And then I have to also still put this one on here.
I'm okay with you doing that one by yourself.
Fair enough. Don't breathe hard. Okay.
Don't breathe.
This is a very ridiculous game in case you haven't noticed.
It's adorable.
It's super, super adorable. But we're just stacking puppies, hoping they don't fall, and trying to get points. And actually, this is also one of my favorite parts of this game. You have these little Shiba Inu meeples that you use as counters for your point scoring.
So here is our little point scoring card. Are these 6 images on the top the 6 options that are going to come through?
Yeah, those are the activities that you might be asked to perform.
And here is our little meeple score
so
guy.
Cute.
How stinking cute.
Yeah, that turned out really well.
Adorable, adorable Sarah.
So this is Circus Puppy, and it's by Chen. I love all of his stuff. He did Kitty Pot, Doggy Go, Shiba Inu House, and Cat Tower, and I just think all of his stuff is adorable.
It's very fun. I think the first game that you mentioned was the one that I immediately thought of when I saw the color scheme and the box. Didn't that come in a little, almost like a milk carton shaped box with a cat on it, if I remember correctly?
And the little ears that pop up on
Yes.
the box? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, this designer does all of his own packaging and graphic design, everything. It's just one guy.
Oh,
And he lives in Taiwan. He makes these adorable, wonderful games, and then we bring them over to the US. So it's just excellent.
that's fantastic. The first thing that I saw about this game that I thought was really interesting is that you actually took the box and turned it into board. So it's so nice to see that that's being used not only to store your stuff, but also as part of the game.
Yeah, it really is important in the game mechanics. A lot of these, like the move it from the big platform to
To
the
the
lower
little.
platform, like that's all part of the game. So I like it when it's all integrated too.
Very cool. So is this a game that is currently available, or is that going to be a new release?
So this is coming out August 1st,
Okay.
which is the day before Gen Con starts, and we wanted to share this release with our friendly local game stores, so
Yes.
they get to sell it at the same time we're selling it at Gen Con.
That's fantastic. You know, I know, Sarah, you have a history of owning your own friendly local game store, so Renegade has a really great passion for the friendly local game stores, the retailers, and that community, and I think you do a fantastic job of really trying to promote that avenue.
Well, we've all got to play games with somebody. A great place
Yes.
to meet people and find out more about what's going on is your friendly local game store. So
Totally
we do think
agree.
that's really important. We're really happy they exist.
Fantastic. So, do we have more that's going on with Renegade?
So much more.
I love the face.
It just keeps going. But we'll put these little puppies back in
Sure.
their sleeping spot in the box and pull out the next one. So this next game I think is really cool because it's one of my favorite designers,
Okay.
J. Alex Cavern. He's
Yes.
done a ton of really cool stuff. So he did Gold West, was one of his first big hit games, but then he did World's Fair and Sentient, Atlas. He's just done a lot of stuff that I think is really excellent and puzzly, and that's my kind of game for sure.
I think we definitely got a chance to check out Sentient on a stream before from him, and it was just an absolutely beautiful game, and I could definitely tell like the puzzly of it.
Oh yeah, I think we did that. Was that Dice Tower Con last year? It was. We did a whole playthrough. That was a blast. Yeah, so this is Prowler's Passage,
Okay.
and in this game you are trying to tunnel down underneath the city
Okay.
to collect treasures, of course. And let me just get a few pieces of this
Sure.
out on the board. We'll just make a sort of truncated version of this.
Absolutely.
Just give you a little bit of an overview. But basically, we're going to have, oops, wrong way, these different districts. And
Okay.
each different district is going to score a bit differently, but you only get to score them if you, oh, I did that wrong, if you control the district.
Okay.
And so it's a really interconnected, really cool puzzly game. We'll get a few pieces out here. So each district is represented in two different places. So if you control it, you'll move one of these buildings towards your side of the board. It's really a tug of war. So you would be trying to pull some your way, I'll pull
Okay.
some my way.
So we're going this way with the buildings.
Well, I'm going this way.
Yeah, okay.
You're
All
going
right.
that way.
That's-
we
we are going in opposite directions.
Yes, we are. We don't want to share
No.
because it is only two players. So anything that ends up on my side of the board here,
Mhm.
I'm going to get to score these types of buildings. And
Okay.
you're going to try and pull them on your side, and you're going to score those types of buildings.
Okay.
But they don't all score the same.
Okay.
So I'll show you this piece that I've lost in here, the most important piece. Oh, here we go. So I'll just hand that to you. So
Perfect.
there's tons of different
Check it.
ways that
Cool.
these buildings score.
All right, so this is a little green screeny, so I'm going to try and keep it over the white. That's actually yellow where you guys see the white. So here's our score reference card.
Yep, so the top part of it is just something everybody's going to do, but as you get down a little bit farther on that card, you'll see that there are different buildings that are represented by these here on the board.
So we see the blue building right here, and this is our blue meeple to correlate to it.
Yep, and when you have control of that at the end of the game or during mid-game scoring, you're going to get to score in a certain way. So for that one, for example, if you have any of these blue tokens, like this one, you're going to get a point for each one of those blue tokens you control because it's a blue building. But the blue building
Okay.
also is a little special because for each one of the other districts you control, you will also get 2 points. And that's the only building that does it that way.
Okay.
The gold building's the next one, and the way that one scores is if you have these gold tokens, get 1 point for each of those. But if you control, oh, and then you just also get 5 points.
That's a nice
Up.
little bonus.
Yeah, nothing too wacky about that one. But then the purple building, if you control purple tokens, you get a point each. But also, you'll get points for controlling a bunch of other stuff.
Okay.
Like these achievement cards. They're going to be worth their own points, but if you control the blue or the purple building, you also get an extra point for each one of those.
Okay.
These statues, there's actually 4 of them on the board, and you're going to get an extra point for them with that blue building as well. And these statues are kind of important if you can completely surround them. So all of the tunnels going to that statue are completed. Then you'll collect the statue. It's worth a point. It will give you an extra point if you control the purple building, but also if 2 of them are gone, it triggers mid-game scoring.
Okay.
You get a chance to see how scoring works. So when you're taking your turn, how do you get all of these different things? How do you control the different districts? All that. It's very simple. You're just going to take your token, your passage, and you'll just place it down on the board on top of one of these tokens.
You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to, just because it's...
There we go. Oh, great. Oh, amazing. Yeah, so that looks great. I'm just going to place this passage on this spot. Goes right there. I collect this token, and now I move each one of these 2 districts on either side of that passage towards me. So then the brown district is going to go towards me, and the purple district will go towards me. So now I have control of the purple district, which is great, so let me score any of these purple tokens I get later.
Perfect.
So it's really interesting to me because you have all of these different options where you're placing a token and collecting it, but you're also moving these districts, but these districts might not match up with its token. So I have to carefully decide what the most important thing is for me on this turn.
Whether you want the token or whether you want the district.
Yep, exactly. And some of these tokens do other special things. Like if I collect this special golden shovel, it lets me move any one of these districts an extra space.
Okay.
This double shovel, it lets me move the 2 connected districts an extra space each. So I move the white one and the brown one twice instead of only once.
Perfect.
So there's a lot of just interconnected cool stuff. Also, you might be trying to do these achievements. There's a huge stack of these achievements in here, lots of different options. Every time we play this game, it's going to be different.
Something different.
Yeah.
Very, very neat. So
So
what is the gameplay? I mean, the game looks... I guess because detail on the art that maybe the game looks like there's a lot of things going on. But actually, I mean, the game... I'm going to grab one of these city tile tokens or these district tiles and just kind of show off the intricate detail for each one of the various districts and the different kind of architectural style in each one of them.
I do really like that because even if you are not quite sure about the colors, maybe you have colorblind issues or whatever, we wanted to make it colorblind friendly. So everything in this game has variations not only in the color but also in the artwork. So you'll notice that like the white one has a bunch of really spiky spires. The brown one is more like a rustic
Kind of
Bavarian
village.
city. Yep. So each one of those, even though they might be too close in color for certain types of color blindness, at least you can see that they're different shapes, and those shapes are going to also relate to these buildings over here to help out.
Perfect. So I'm going to take this blue district right here, and you can see it's kind of a little Taj Mahal-ish with the water out in the front, and then there's our little corresponding meeple there, which is really cute.
Yeah. So we did really want to be careful about that. So it's pretty exciting.
Well, I know one colorblind person who's very happy that you guys are paying attention to that.
Oh, good.
Joshua.
Exciting. Yeah, this is Prowler's Passage. It's actually out now. It came out a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah, but we wanted to show it off because it's just such an excellent game, and we're getting great response from it. So that is...
How many players does Prowler's Passage play?
It's exactly 2.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
And what is the age range kind of for this game?
This is 10 and up as well. I think that the mechanics are simple enough. You're really just placing one thing and moving the appropriate districts, but you have a lot to think about. So if you want to really get into the strategy of the game, there's a lot to go on there.
Fantastic. So here are the achievements, and I'm going to show this off while we move on. And just to give an example of what some of those are, so we have collect one item of all 4 types. So that's kind of just one more thing to consider when you're deciding whether you want to control a district, whether you want to get an item, whether you move in a building. Lots of little moving pieces.
Yeah, I love Alex's games that way. It's very different.
Fantastic.
Cool. So this next thing I want to show you, I didn't even realize I was going to have this here. It's a bit of a surprise for all of us. I'm very excited
I
about
love
it.
surprises.
Me too. I think that all of your fans will probably be quite intrigued by this one.
Okay.
So I was able to bring with me our very first copy in existence, our proof copy that we got from the factory of Clank in
Space!
Apocalypse.
Wait, this is so great because we've gotten to play Clank on the stream a couple of times and we absolutely loved the game. So now I love that. Yes, all right, let's delve right into it. I'm excited. Yes.
So the first time I met you guys, we
Yes.
actually played Clank
At
on your
BGG.
live stream. That
Yes.
was so much fun.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched that video, please go back and find it on their stream. It was excellent. We had a blast. It was very, very late at night, but it was so much fun.
It was a ton of fun. And the game was so much different than we thought that it was going to play, which is so neat, I guess, when your expectations are kind of turned on head when you sit down at a game and it's like, oh man, this is so much cooler than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it really was, I think, an industry-changing game because it showed that deck building is not dead. There's still more to do with it. There's exciting ideas that are still coming out, and not only from us, but from lots of publishers. Deck building is just such a great mechanic, and I'm excited that we have even more in this line for it.
Fantastic. So what is different now about Clank in Space Apocalypse? You got to say it with the dramatic flair.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that there's so much cheesiness in Clank. It's the best part
Yes,
of it.
definitely.
So we, of course, have a new, very scary monster.
Oh, he's very, very scary with his stabby hands.
Yeah. Why are they so stabby?
You know?
Oh, look, he could interview with us.
Okay, he's going to be right there.
Hi, stabby guy. How are you?
You know, they say good help is hard to find.
So true. So we now have 2 extra modular parts of the board. So in regular Clank in Space, you have basically 3 rooms that you have to go to in order to find the passcodes to get through the force field to steal the treasure, which is a little different than regular Clank. So if you haven't played Clank in Space, you really are forced to explore a bit more before you run down and steal the artifacts. And these are 2 brand new modular parts of that area of the board, so you can replace those, and they're again double-sided. So this is a ton of new content actually on just both of these boards.
So is this an expansion, or is it a standalone expansion?
This is an expansion, so you would have to have Clank in Space to be able to play this.
Okay.
So obviously that's not the whole board, but if you had the rest of the board, you would switch out 2 of those 3 pieces in that area with these ones.
Okay.
And then also, we'll get to these in a second. We have a whole huge deck of cards again. Then this will just go right into your regular deck that you already have. So we're going to shuffle those into the main Clank in Space deck, and they've got new ridiculous parody things. They've got some fun new artwork. There's a lot going on in there. And
show off that really great water bear right there.
Teleport to a space adjacent to your current module.
Ooh.
So I like that because that really lets you jump pretty far. Wow, that's a really good card.
Those are the best kind of reactions when you see it like, no, that's actually really awesome.
I would buy that card. That seems good. Yeah.
Oh, good. This is just because this is very amusing. The pigeonholed actor. He used to save the galaxy's fictional character, and now he's on a quest to do it for real. That's very, very cute.
Oh my gosh. I love the flavor text in all of the Clank games, but especially in Clank in Space because I'm a sci-fi fan. I've loved
Ah.
Star Trek since I was a tiny child.
Oh.
Star Trek is the best. The new series. But anyway, so I get the jokes in this one, and they're really well done. So the next thing that we haven't shown off very much yet, and we're going to reveal some more about this soon, are schemes. So I'll let you just show that, and people can make some good guesses about what we're going to do with schemes
So
in the
here
future.
are our interdimensional monsters with our power portal generator, containment breach, security collapse.
That's some fun stuff going
This
on
is
there.
interesting. Microbot army. Let's see, oh, this is amusing. Okay, just because the art's really...
Oh, I do like the art on that. She's got some little mice.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Okay,
Excellent.
So anyway, we have some schemes now, which I think are very intriguing, and we're going to share more about those in the future.
Very cool.
Yeah, time travel, and then you can find out about it right now.
Then come back to us and let us know.
That's right, get on that. So that is Clink in Space Apocalypse.
Awesome. So why is it apocalypse? Like, what happened with the story that now it's the apocalypse?
Well, have you seen this cover? Look at that monster there. Looks
Well,
very apocalyptic.
he is quite something.
He's
Right
funny.
there.
Yeah. Looks apocalyptic to me.
Very apocalyptic. It's not something I would want to wake up in the morning to.
No, not at all. Oh my goodness. Do we have time for 2 more? Oh my gosh. Well, good. I've been wearing the shirt the whole time, so I figured I
Yes.
would talk about this.
Only appropriate.
Yeah, so this is the T-Dragon Society card game, and I cannot tell you how cute the graphic novel is that this is based on. It's wonderful. So this author, her name is Katie O'Neill. She does the illustrations and the books, and she did Princess Ever After, which is just a freaking adorable book. Got picked up by Scholastic. It's really inclusive, super positive, just an adorable book. And this is her second one that just came out in November.
Okay.
It's a T-Dragon Society. And it's about this little girl who finds a baby dragon. It's sort of abandoned in the market. And she takes care of it, nurses it back to health. And this game is about caring for a dragon.
I have a very special place in my heart for dragons. They're probably my favorite fantasy creature ever.
Well, of course, they are the best.
They're pretty fantastic. They're
Oh
pretty
my
relaxing.
gosh. So T-dragons are slightly special types of dragons because they have tea leaves that grow out of the horns.
Okay.
And each different dragon is going to make a different type of tea. And
It's dragons and it's tea.
and it's tea.
Yes, it is. That's right there.
Not yet, but that is my favorite drink. I
That
drink
is-
at least 3 a day.
That is mine right there in the cup.
Nice. I may have to do that on the way back. So you pick a type of dragon that you would like to play as, and then you're also going to get a deck just for that dragon. This is also a deck building game, and so you have a specialized deck just for that particular type of dragon. This is great too because it's very easy, it's very light. And one of the designers of the game, when he was creating this, actually had a puppy at home, a brand new puppy. And this game is about caring for a baby dragon, which turns out to be very similar to baby
To baby
puppies.
puppies?
Yeah, imagine that.
Goodness.
So it's very simple. You have your little deck of cards. You're going to be drawing cards from there, making resources, which
Okay.
are tea leaves, of course.
Obviously.
And as you build up enough tea leaves, you can make tea, which you sell for different items in the market.
Okay.
And once you collect one of those items and you put it into your deck, now you have a little bit of a bonus. And we'll show some of these market card items up here. And you'll notice that they have a few different things on here. So this is how many tea leaves each card will produce.
Okay.
The cards in your starter deck are going to have mostly ones on them. So really basic starter numbers like 1. And so you'll have to build up a few of those before you're able to buy something. And then they also have a cost. So this would cost you 3 tea leaves to be able to make that tea, which you can sell for this card. If they do have some sort of bonus, end game bonus points, then that'll be at the bottom of the card. So you can see right here, if this card is in your deck at the end of the game, you'll get 2 points for that. There we go. 2 points towards winning the game. Your turn is super simple. It is really made so anybody, if they are a fan of this graphic novel, can play this game. So you start out, all you do on your turn,
Okay.
you can either, if you want to take that one, you can either draw a card or buy a card. It's like the simplest deck builder ever. So you flip over a card.
Okay.
And you don't even have a hand.
Right.
You flip it over, I drew a card. It's the end of my turn.
Okay.
But now I have 1 tea leaf towards being able to purchase something. My next turn, I might flip over another one. I got 2 feedings, so I've been feeding my baby dragon. Everything's going well. I entertain my baby dragon. She's super happy. You can see her out there in the snow with her little coat on. And now I have 3 tea leaves that I can use to purchase something. So I'm going to spend all 3 of those. I buy some incense, which now gives me a little ability. When you draw a grumpy card, do not discard a sleepy. So what that's saying is that you're building this relationship with your baby dragon. And sometimes you have relationship setbacks with small animals.
Of course.
Of course. So maybe I'm entertaining and sleeping. Oh, that's wonderful. More sleeping. But, now
we're
I'm picky. So if I had a feeding card out here, then I would have to discard that feeding card if a picky card came out.
So when drawn, discard this and a feeding, and that's the feeding one.
Yep. So I had a slight setback in our training and relationship building, but it's not too much of a disadvantage. So it's actually, when you think about it, the deck building game, it's also a push your luck game, because how many of these cards do I want to flip over?
Before I get a negative and I have an impact to what's already out there.
Exactly.
Oh, so cute. How many players does this game play?
It goes up to 4.
That is... I know what I'm going home with, guys.
Well, we're actually sold out.
No, Sarah! Okay, so if you're like me and you absolutely think this is the most adorable thing you've ever seen in your whole life, how can you get your hands on a copy?
It's actually coming out at the end of this month. So June 27th, we're really, really close. But if you come and see us at a convention, we have a convention exclusive cover. So this cover of the box is exclusive artwork for just the game. You can see that beautiful spot varnish on there. And this artwork was made just for the game, but the other artwork that we have is a white box. That's convention exclusive, and that artwork came from the graphic novel, and it has all the characters from the graphic novel in it.
Very cool.
So the little girl that finds a dragon, her mentors as she's going through the process of learning how to take care of it, and all the other characters you would expect to see if you're a big fan of the graphic novel, those are the convention exclusive box.
Very cool.
But for people just learning about the game at the convention or at your friendly local retail store, this one has all the dragons on the front of the box.
It's really cute, guys.
They're so adorable. I love both covers. It's hard to pick.
I mean, the artwork is absolutely adorable, very cuddly. What's the price point on the game and the age range for players?
It's only $20. Age range, I would say 10 plus is what's written on the box. I would say if you're a gamer and you want to walk your kids through this game, you could play it with much younger than that. It's only about a 30-minute game. It can go a little longer once you really are gaming the system, because once you get to the end of the game and you've built up your deck, if you've done a really good job, there's a lot of combos. And so card game players love this. They can really get into making their deck just perfect, comboing off, doing a lot of funky things with it. So that can take a little bit longer if you're playing with experienced
playing with strategy and moving things around just to see what the game can do.
So it's light and it's a great accessible deck builder, but there's more to it than you might think with how cuddly it is.
Very, very cool. We love games like that that can appeal to, you know, the very light and something I can play with my kids and something I can play with other gamers at the same time.
Definitely.
Excellent. Thank you so much for showing me Tea Dragon Society. That's kind of made my whole convention.
Excellent. I love this one. I have one other game.
All right.
Stay on air.
Yeah.
We aren't running into anybody's time. Okay, great. So this game, well, I'm sad for them, but I'm glad I get to spend more time with you guys. That's excellent.
It's always a nice plus.
Yeah, awesome. So this last one is actually Lucidity, and it's a game that's been out for just a little while already, but we're seeing crazy awesome responses from both stores and also here at the convention. So I just figured I'd come and show you what the hot thing is right now,
Yeah, talk to
'cause
me.
it's doing great. So this is Lucidity, Six-Sided
Oh, look at
Nightmares.
that.
The artwork in this is bonkers. It's really different than anything we've done before because this is actually all done by a tattoo artist.
Very
So
cool.
he has a different idea of what would work on packaging than most of the people in our current industry. So these actually
Oh,
are
wow.
just art pieces that come in the game. They
Okay.
don't do anything except just show off this awesome art.
Okay, I think just because they're so large, I want to look at that. That sounds like a terrible idea. I'm going to do it.
Oh no! That's funny. um, you're hilarious. So in this game, it's actually a push-your-luck game too, but a little bit more obviously. You are trying to collect as much power as possible as a dreamer.
Okay.
And what that means is you're going to pull out some of these amazing 80 custom dice. And depending on how risky you want to be, you're going to pull out more or less of them.
So here are my reds. I have a yellow in my hand, but I'm not sure that's going to show up fantastically. There are 3 colors.
There's actually 4.
There's green. Oh, yeah,
The
there's
green's really not
This
gonna
is the
show.
invisible dice.
Ooh,
Look at
it's kinda
that.
scary. I kind of like the eyeball there.
So I see the
Excellent.
various iconography on the dice. Are they weighted a particular direction?
They are all very different. So,
Okay.
I didn't actually pull that out for you, but if you get into the box a little bit, you can see. I'll give you one of these. So there's
Sure.
different things on each side of each of the different dice. They are quite green. Look at that. So each of the different types of dice are going to have different sides and
Okay.
different abilities. And basically, when you roll your dice, it's very simple. So let's say you decided to be sort of medium risky, not super risky, just a little bit risky. You'll start out by pulling 4 dice out of the bag, and then you only pick 2 of them and roll those and then throw everything else back. So if you want to go ahead and give that a shot, I'll show you how
Sure.
this works.
Okay, so I'm pulling out 4 dice from the bag.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, and 4.
And you can put any 2 of those back. And I kind of suggest just for this, 1 of each, actually.
Okay.
1 of each color.
Okay, so I'm going to put
Yep.
the blue and yellow back, and we're going to be left with the blue and the yellow. So I have a yellow eye and a blue moon.
And you're going to roll those now.
Okay.
You know what they are. And what's super easy about this game is that you just put those dice where they go on the board.
So I'm
And this
gonna
is
guess-
your own personal board. This would be mine. And they go in that one will
Right
actually
here?
go right there in
Ah.
that yellow spot. And so this one, when you place it, it says draw and roll 1 dream. And these are all dreams.
Okay, so I'm going to draw my dream and roll. I got a red 1.
And that's great. That's power. So the goal of the game is to get to 15 power. You
Okay.
now have 1. And then, so you did this blue. If you had gotten up to 4 blue shadow dice, what these are called, in a 2-player game, you would actually turn into the blue nightmare. You only have 1, so we don't need to worry about it, but that's what's going to happen on any one of these shadow areas.
And so the natural question that comes up is, what are the nightmares?
The nightmares are great. So you can win the game a few different ways. Either you get to 15 power and you win the game that way, just as a dreamer, or if you keep rolling and you keep getting more and more dice on your board and you end up filling up one of these rows, you become the nightmare. Now you wipe this whole board, you no longer can have those, they don't affect you at all, and now you don't even take your regular turns. You're now attacking all the other players.
Okay.
So anytime another player rolls your color,
Yeah.
if they roll that shadow side of the die, now you get to do something bad to them. Each one of these is a little bit different.
That is very special. Look at the art down here. So crazy.
I love that one.
This kind of looks like the guy from Clank and Space Apocalypse.
Oh, this is the apocalypse part.
Exactly. Now we know where it came from.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is when any dreamer rolls one of the shadows of the depths, move it to your card as a power. Then you may draw 2 dreams, return 1 to the bag, and the dreamer rolls the other. All right.
So you're kind of getting to affect their board a little bit. You're stealing power from them. And then as the nightmare, if all other dreamers turn into nightmares or die,
Mm-hmm.
then whoever has the most power as a nightmare wins. So you can still win as a nightmare. But on your turn, you're just either going to be sending out dice to make people roll, which could effectively turn them into a nightmare,
Right.
or you're stealing power off of their board,
To
so
try.
keeping them from winning.
Very
And that's all
interesting.
you're doing on your turn, but on their turns now you can also affect them as well, because when they roll your color, now you're blue, if they roll your color, then you can steal that from them and take that power. So the nightmares are really exciting, and you may even try to turn into a nightmare early in the
To
game.
play that kind of strategy.
Yeah, to start messing with people. But as a dreamer, just collecting power and rolling those dice and being really careful with your rolls, you can end up winning pretty quickly too. So it's an interesting balance.
That's very interesting. I really like how that works.
I love asymmetrical games when they're done right, and I
Yeah.
love that this one is asymmetrical halfway through the game. I've never seen one quite like that before. It's a really interesting mechanic.
Awesome, awesome. Well, Sarah, thank you so much for coming on and taking
Yeah.
time. I know you guys are super busy over at the booth, and we really appreciate you coming to show us all the fun games.
Thank you for
Yes.
having me. This was excellent. It's always good to see you guys.
Same here. Bye, Sarah.
Bye.